week's chapter of One Piece, Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates have finally arrived at the island of Zou, a massive elephant which has a civilization on its back. A civilization which is inhabited by furries! This week's chapter of One Piece takes the weirdness of the series and just sort of kicks it up to 11. I mean, the first thing you see from this chapter is this giant monkey falling off of a giant elephant, and the monkey just happens to be wearing a top hat. He collides into Kinemon and Kanjuro, separating them from the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates. This is a really interesting scene, because it almost seems like Kanjuro was trying to do all of this on purpose, trying to get them hit with this monkey. And what's also really strange is that they almost say that Raizo might actually be the monkey himself because he's making the same noises as him, or maybe he's wearing his clothes. That's kind of a theme of this week's chapter, because we get to learn that the mink tribe of the island of Zou are actually an island of half people, half animals. They're basically animal-people hybrids. Think the island of Dr. Moreau, except a lot cuter. Speaking of cute, Nico Robin and Ryunosuke, the dragon which was drawn by Kanjuro, their relationship was short-lived, but it might be one of the funniest elements of this arc that I've seen in quite some time, and it's always really great to see that other, rare, caring side of Nico Robin that we never actually get to see. She continues to believe that Ryunosuke the dragon is completely adorable, and when they actually make it up to the top of the elephant, it turns back into a drawing, and she actually leaves it flowers. She's so depressed that it's gone. She even starts crying over this thing. This is in stark contrast, of course, to Zoro and Law, who really just don't give a shit at all. Also, did you guys notice that Zoro's actually wearing his original outfit? I think that's pretty cool. The big thing about this week's chapter is that Luffy and his friends have just arrived at the island of Zou, they're on the back of the elephant, and they discover this massive civilization in this giant city in forest, which is so expertly designed and amazing. I also really like the fact that it also seems to have the trees from the planet Namek, and there's also this giant forest, which is known as the Whale Forest, which has this massive tree right in the middle, where the trunk actually looks like a giant humpback whale. It's really damn inventive and looks great, and it just really sucks you in. It really makes you appreciate the beginning of this next big One Piece adventure. But as Luffy and his friends are making their way through the city and forest and walking on the elephant's back, they notice that they're being watched by people from the shadows, and suddenly Zoro is attacked by this bunny girl who goes by the name of Carrot, who seems to have the ability to levitate in the air. She also has these paws which have these 3 claws on them, which she actually uses to attack Zoro, and Zoro at the last minute is able to deflect her attack, but even he's pretty shocked by their abilities, when suddenly out of nowhere, riding on a giant warthog, this half-woman, half-dog girl just shows up out of nowhere as they're trying to stop all of the intruders from going into the Whale Forest. What's most interesting about this dog girl, however, is that she seems to be wearing Nami's clothes. Now, this could be happening for a number of reasons. One, this dog girl could actually be Nami for all we know. She could have been transformed into some sort of weird dog girl. Or 2, this dog girl actually met Nami and stole her clothes. Or 3, maybe they actually did meet all the other members of the Straw Hat Pirates, they became good friends with them, and they actually offered them some clothes. Which could mean a number of things. These weird mink people could have been walking around naked the entire time, or that means that Nami has absolutely nothing on at the moment. That's right. Think about that. The Straw Hat Pirates have just escaped the birdcage of Dressrosa, and yet they find themselves in another sticky situation. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of One Piece? The excitement and the sense of discovery is what really makes this chapter exciting. Whenever a brand new arc of One Piece starts up, it's always really great because you never really know what's coming. I could not have predicted that they were going to go to an island which was a giant elephant, which had a civilization on its back, inhabited by furry people. Could anybody have predicted that? And it still manages to be just as exciting as all the other arcs. I think the strongest element of this chapter, though, was definitely the humor, and of course the design of this big city that we've never seen before. Just all of the forests, the massive pillars of stone, which seem to have these homes in them, and then of course there's the whale tree. It looks so absolutely beautiful. I had to do a double take when I was reading that for the very first time, because I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? oh, it's a tree trunk. It's all so well designed, and you can really feel the excitement from the characters, especially Luffy, who predictably just sort of runs in like an idiot and starts having fun. And as they make their way through this gate, it looks like that someone has already busted through, and they seem to be destroying a lot of things in their wake. So there's clearly some sort of war going on this island, and it could involve Kaido's goons, it could be because the other Straw Hat Pirates are there, maybe Trafalgar Law's guys are there, and maybe this has something to do with Kanjuro and Kinemon. There's so much amazing mystery to this chapter, and it's still just really exciting to read. The artwork in particular was great. The Mink Tribe are really weird. They always have to introduce these weird new races. I mean, we already had Fishman and Merman and all that stuff. We've had toy people and tiny little Tontatas. Now, we're going into animal-human hybrids, which means we're officially nearly at Dragon Ball level with the anthropomorphic animal people. But I can't wait to learn about these guys, because I'm sure we're going to see a lot of interesting designs, and I'm kind of interested to see, like, how far this whole hierarchy of the Mink Tribe goes, because we've been introduced to the bunny girl, whose name is Carrot, which is very appropriate. You have the dog girl, but then you also have that monkey at the beginning of the chapter. Could he actually be a part of the Mink Tribe? Because in many ways he is an anthropomorphic animal, and he does seem to be speaking. Is he related to Raizo or connected to him in some sense? There's just so much amazing mystery behind this chapter that I just love it. That combined with the artwork, which was just absolutely beautiful this week, especially that big shot of Luffy looking over the city and seeing the whale forest. That is just a gorgeous image which is going to be burned into my brain forever. I really cannot wait to see what it's going to look like when it's all colorized in the anime version of the story. But even with all of that, the real star of this week's chapter is Ryunosuke, the crappily drawn dragon. I love that dragon so much. And Nico Robin's reactions to seeing it go away was definitely one of the most heartbreaking but still funny scenes that I've seen from the entire series. It made me like Nico Robin all that much more. So this week's chapter had it all. Pirates, samurais, monkeys, giant elephant with a civilization on its back, island of furry people, sense of discovery, cool action scenes, and a great cliffhanger ending. This was a very solid chapter of One Piece, which you should definitely check out if you're a fan of the manga version or if you're watching the anime version. So make sure to check this one out. You might see something you like. With that being said, I'm going to give this week's chapter a 5 out of 5, a really solid read that put a big smile on my face the entire time. But before you guys leave today, I would love to hear your thoughts about this week's chapter of One Piece. So many questions. What's the deal with the monkey? Does he have a connection to Raizo? What's up with the furry people and them stealing the Straw Hats' clothes? Is there actually a bigger connection here that we don't actually see yet? Please tell me all of your theories and what you hope to see from the Zou arc in One Piece. Thank you guys for watching my review. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!